very good welcome or morning to Open Youth Connect with me, Gatlakhalu. And we are still joined by TreeZY SA right here on Open Youth Connect. And you can always search him on, it's TreeZY SA, right?
Yeah, TreeZY SA for 41.
41.
Yeah, 41.
Where?
The 41, Instagram,
Everywhere.
Facebook, it's TreeZY SA. And
Yes.
yeah.
So this is who we are talking to. But one of the things that we would like to know from you, because also you are from here,
Right.
so I feel like it's safe, or rather we deserve to know these things, right?
Yeah.
About you. We want to know, most people know you as the hustler, you're
Right.
selling one thing to the next, you're moving,
Yeah.
you're busy. But behind all of that, behind the entrepreneurial spirit, there's your tattoo.
Right.
Who's tattoo?
Yo, Tato, ne? I would like to say humble, but I felt like I'd rather say down to earth person.
Okay.
Because it's like, yeah, I'll be lying. But yeah, very, very down to earth person, very artistic. I would say that I take pride in my work, and not just like in terms of like music, but just art as a whole, like being able to express myself and like being disciplined. I'm very like big on family as much as spirituality. So yeah, I'm a very spiritual person, and observing. I'm a very observant person, so I like to observe like how life is and what people do, and like to observe how women act. Like put that into my story as well, like that. And I would say that besides the hustle, for me it was never just about like making money. It was about like building something that could be there, like a legacy, or like an empire and stuff like that. And I think like music just also became a way of me to express myself in terms of like who am I, like behind everything, the voices and what I couldn't like say out loud, but rather like just put that in a paper and just like really seeing how, because most people don't know this, right? Being an artist, it's very difficult to become an artist because you have to have a way to like say things and like draw them down for other people to be able to like kind of get those experiences and stuff. So sometimes it gets a little bit tricky, especially if you don't have like that kind of platform to like do that. So I would say I'm very grateful to like have this opportunity to be able to share like who I am and my story through like music and other various like art forms with the world. And yeah, so
So I know by your music is influenced by the songs you used to listen to with your parents. But from, you did mention that it's soul, right?
R&B and soul, yeah.
So from that, do you think there's any element of R&B and soul that is prevalent in your music today?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. That's a good question. I've always had like love like for like melodies from a young age. I would like make my mom sing this other song by Nelly and Kelly, The Dilemma. Yeah, when I was like 5 years old, I would like make them do like, and I just do the backups and stuff like that, and all that stuff. So I think like R&B and hip hop, like I love the way that the emotions and raw emotions and like the storytelling of it, like how that really shaped music that we know now. As opposed to, because like back then it was just more than just about hearing a song. It was about like understanding, how that makes you feel. Where does it take you, and like what do you see? When you're listening to the song, what comes in your mind? And I think that's what really stayed with me. That part of that emotion and being able to like, be vulnerable and say it how it is. So I think that part is what really stayed with me, and just trying to fuse like hip hop as well with like that side of R&B and soul.
So I believe that when you're an entrepreneur, you're selling something. There's something in your spirit about entrepreneurship. Right. What made you move from, not necessarily move, but like what made you transition to music?
Yo, I think, I would say like from a young age, when I was back in high school, like before I started like making music, I never used to be a good writer. So I would just always like, check out people that were like doing music back in high school. And I would like be like, yo, I love the way this song makes me feel and like how this makes me feel. So I think I kind of had that energy from since I was young. I've always been very proactive in life as well. So I think that became a platform where I could like really stretch my personality and really like put myself out there in a much more different way. Yes, the hustle has become like something that was very, I would say the hustle really built me, but it's the music that, that's who I am. The music is what I am.
Yeah. You know how people interpret the arts, ne? They interpret it very different.
Very different,
right? This could be whether you sing a portrait or whatever.
True.
People interpret it differently, and we, as receivers or consumers of art, we like to conclude certain things about artists.
Right.
So I know that you may have heard a little bit of something about you, and you thought, like, that is wrong. That is not who I am. So what is that one thing that people assume about you, especially people who consume your music?
My music,
And it's completely wrong.
Yeah, we speaking based on like when they see me, like what's the first impression type of thing.
Yeah.
I think most people, I might get in trouble for this, but I'm gonna say that I think most people think it's either they think I'm rude or I have like that player vibe within me.
Okay.
Which is based on like how I look and stuff. And I think I'm really like down to earth, guys. Like, don't be afraid to just say, hey, how's it? I'm very, very chilled like that. So I think most people kind of get that wrong, and I'm like, guys, I'm very chilled. So yeah, I did have like a lot of like comments based on like that. So like, yeah.
You know, Panamarai was a player.
Man, I don't know, right? I think it's maybe I don't know. Like, I really don't know why people think that, but like, I'm very loyal. Like, I am very loyal, and I'm just, that type of person. Like, once you get to know me, like, like you get to know the kind of person that I am, and like most things I say through like my music. Like, yo, listen, I've went through such experiences, and despite like what that has led me to, but I've still remained who I am, and it's to like what I do, and like being loyal to like my core values of that kind of thing. But guys, I'm really not a player. I'm very loyal.
I want us to listen to this, and I need you to come back and tell us, because I know that it's a very personal song to you.
Right.
So I need you to take us back to the exact moment you thought you should create this and put it out there and share it with us.
Right. Wait, what do you play?
It's a song. It's your song.
All right.
It's Everyone Falls. I know it's a personal song to you, but if it's a personal song, it touches on the vulnerable parts of you.
Yeah.
And having to share that with people is a very courageous thing to do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need you to take us back to that moment. Can I give it like a snippet, Gangan, and then we can come back?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me way too crazy by you. Yeah. Hey, chillin' with my baby, that's right. Hey, yeah, the first time I see it had me the crazy and I'm planning to tell you. Cause my mind be complacent ever since when I met you, you swear that it's that true. Yeah, the way you caress her, that itch got me thinking I'm dreaming about you. It's a matter of seconds, I'm stacking the stay, I'm falling for you. You got me falling for you, oh girl. You got me killing rappers. I'm trying to get it all for you all night. I'm gonna get for you, baby, all night. You alright, we all fine. At all times, I ain't right. No nigga got it all for you, baby, no, I got it 2 times. Swear the ass up, I'm finna give me 3 times. Standing by this niggas gone now, 3 times. Swear it's better all for you, baby, no cons. You'll be right.
Ready?
Yeah.
We kids, love first, my good.
What's the story?
That song. Oof. Okay, the story behind it, that this actually started off as before I could even make Everyone Falls, before I started making this kind of music, I used to be a rapper, like a straight up rapper, before I ventured into like making something that is very profound and something that is very personal to me.
Yeah.
I had this other producer called J Beats. So he used to make beats for me, and I remember this other time when he told me about like this certain type of girl and you know how she was and whatever the situation was, and I felt like, you know, that I could. She is a very nice person, and I would like to like. You know, we had a little bit of a bet. It started off as a bet, and then I was like, okay, you can get our numbers and all of that, but like. I think once we started speaking, me and the girl, the first time we met, it felt very personal, like we've known each other for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I think that moment, I remember when she asked me for like food, and I was like mad broke. I had money, I had like 150. Mm-hmm. And she was like, yo, I'm hungry. I was like, I need to record a song, you know, I could, but, and then she's like, nah, it's okay. So with that situation, after the same night when I went to the studio, I found J Beat. He played me this beat. Mm-hmm. And then I was like vibing to it. He's like, what do you think about this? I'm like, yo, this song is nice. He's like, yo, what do you want us to call it? I said, Everyone Falls. He said, Everyone Falls in Love. I said, nah, it's just Everyone Falls. Mm-hmm. And then I think I just kind of like, I used the same money because I went home, I wrote this, and I just remember how the words really came to me. I felt like this was the most honest I've been in terms of like being honest about how I really feel about my emotions at that point in time. And I remember just like using the same money to record that song. I didn't know back then that I would like record that song. Yeah. And I just like record it, and just the feeling from it and how people like received it after, you know, that was like the best feeling that I really had. And still today I would still say like it was very profound. And yeah, but yeah, that was it.
We are chilling with the TreeZY SA, straight from Amsterdam.
Right.
Yeah, but like now I want to know this. I know you're working on something right now.
Right.
Something big, something massive.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so right now I'm just focused on the visuals, right? And just like expanding my story basically. Yeah. And just my brand as a whole. And the Calling My Name video plays a huge part in that. But apart from that, I'm just focused on like working with like new people, just like brands. I'm just really open towards that. Yeah. And just like making more music and really expanding my story, like I said. So yeah, that is something that I'm really working on. I have a project called Set for the City, which will also feature a couple of songs that I've already dropped everywhere on digital platforms. So yeah, Set for the City, it's a very much more detailed project in terms of like this whole like love city or like lost loving era that I'm kind of in. And yeah, I'm so excited about that. I've been working on new stuff, and it's only just a matter of time until the video drops. Yeah. Yeah.
So you mentioned Calling My Name.
Right.
Someone is going to hear it for the first time today.
Right.
What is that one thing you wish to take away from this one?
I think the honesty of any kind of situation that you might be in or you might find yourself in, like whether it's a toxic relationship, you know, because we all know love has no guarantees, and it's a very risky game to be in love because you don't know how that's gonna end, you know, but you can only take a leap of faith. So I think just being able to be honest with how you feel. This is actually about a song that is it's about a situation that is like where you find yourself that you want to move on from like somebody, but you kind of like still hung up on them. So like it's just you being able to like just accept that and just be in the moment and just live through that situation. I think most of all, like just knowing when to walk away, but still like, is it worth it, you know? Is it worth staying? So you ask yourself such questions, and like I think that answer is what you're gonna find through Calling My Name. Like how do you transition from that? Like what is next? So that is a very personal experience of mine. You know, I've been heartbroken a whole lot of times. But yeah, I guess that is part of being an artist, you know. But yeah, you just need to.
You know how people often say, "Who adult needs to continue releasing or needs to continue getting hurt."
Getting hurt, yeah.
We get banged.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's safe to say.
It's safe to say that. Amara, you think wrong. Why would you say that?
No, thing is, people get creative from such heartbreaks and all. And it's alchemy. I'd say it's alchemy. When you're an alchemist, you use your pain, you just transform it into something epic. So we're not saying we should get hurt, but then I go, Kangane.
Why can't I find a pretty little thing so I could like write something nice and stuff like that?
Yeah. So before we let you go, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. Instagram is TreeZYSA and the number 41. 41 is actually also profound because I was born on the 5th of March. So 4 and 1, that's 5. So yeah, I think everything kind of like plays in. So on Facebook, it's just TreeZY and on TikTok is TreeZY 41.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not on Twitter as yet, but I'll get to it later. On YouTube, it's just TreeZY.
Yeah. And I have a question.
Spotify, TreeZY everywhere.
Yes. And Kere, you are a musician.
Right.
And also you did mention that you're also an entrepreneur.
Right.
We want to know what is it that you're selling, because we have young people that are listening out there and they need to be transformed by what you do. So they would want to know also support, but also be transformed to say, other young people are doing this. Let me do that. Let me just get transformed by your story. So what is it that you do in terms of business?
In terms of business, I'm really well versed in different departments of or like different segments of business, but I do have a mobile candy shop. Even till this day, like I still have like kids that will run up to me. They're like, "Yo, where's the candy?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, So like I'm still pushing that. And besides that, like sunglasses, anything that's fashion related. I think music on its own kind of like, I feel like you being an artist, everything has to go hand in hand. The music, the way that you are as a person, the way that you look, and how you dress. So that also plays a huge part in like what I'm doing. But besides that, I have like a big project. I can't really disclose much of it, but I have like a huge app that I'm currently working on. Okay. Yeah, so yeah. Hopefully that would also like change a lot of people's lives
and also to transform young people. What is your word to them? What are you leaving them with? What is it that they can learn from you and take from you to say, you know what, this is what it takes to be you, and just to empower them to say it is possible because you did this and stuff. So we want to know from you.
So I think personally for me, I think you just need to be true to like who you are, your personality, and don't let nobody tell you that you got too much energy or you can't do this or you can't do this or this is never gonna work. Just I think consistency also plays key in like you being that type of person that you want to have to become. You need to also be patient because it's not easy, especially coming from where we are. There's limited like opportunities, so you just need to surround yourself with people that kind of align with what you're doing. So you need to just be very focused on what you're doing. Like, never mind the parties and all of that, just be consistent in what you're doing, and that's gonna pay off. So to everybody that's just out there that have a dream, you need to protect that, you need to guide that, you need to be able to share that with the world, but before you need to share that with yourself. And be true to who you are, in and out, every day, 24 hours, and never be scared to take risks. I feel like that is very important. Betting on yourself, that's the best. That's the best reward that life will ever give you. Yeah.
You heard it from here first. Even when you do projects, please remember us.
Yeah, nah, I got you guys. But me and you, like, we
I get you. But I'm also saying thank you so much for trusting us with your story.
I really do appreciate coming here and just like sharing my story with you guys. It's been very amazing. I feel honored to be here. I did mention that, and I feel like this will always be home for me.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be. I mean, it's home.
Also,
Yeah.
this is it, so
Right.
yeah, we are like the bridge.
Yeah, we are one, guys. We like
one.
trousers and a belt, bro. It's,
Right? They go hand in hand.
yeah.
It's TreeZY. This is his outro, and right about now we'll give you calling my name. I know it says Stacy.
Stacy, yeah. Do you wanna? I feel like you have a lot of questions.
Let me leave it at that. This is how we wrap up this whole entire interview. But thank you so much for.
I really do appreciate you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Why not put on Stacy? No, that was so nerve-wracking.
How was that? Yeah, it was. It was. But I felt like towards the end, it became a little bit like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
can I get a little hug from you?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That minute, because you didn't know if I was a robber or what.
Bro,
You
and
just
you
gave
also said that I'm like, okay, but you're doing this here, but thank you so much.
Nah, but I really do appreciate it. How's your day today?
Yeah?
How you doing today?
Yeah.
How you doing today?
No, because also you said